So maybe I'm just dumb. I know I'm kind of dumb, but hey you guys, welcome to a video with the Board Game Critic. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, all of the above. It really helps us create more valuable content, and it really helps with our exposure. So let's go ahead and jump into the meat of the video. I had the pleasure of doing an escape room marathon. In one evening, we played through 3 different brands of escape room games. And so while I'm not going to be necessarily reviewing each of those specific games, because there's honestly not much you can say about any of them without giving away spoilers, I am going to talk about which of the 3 games we preferred, rank those, and give you some idea of which one you might enjoy of the 3. So the 3 that we played are here. Exit games. Exit games are fairly well established. There's tons of them. They've won awards. I believe it won the German Game of the Year 2 years ago. Anyway, needless to say, exit games have made quite the name for themselves in the escape room game space. From Thames and Cosmos, or I guess just Cosmos. I don't know the difference there. But it was fantastic. We'll get to more on that in a second. We have the Sherlock Files. Now, the Sherlock Files was very interesting and completely caught me off guard. It's from Indie Boarding Cards, and overall, we had a very good time with this. It comes with 3 different scenarios that aren't replayable, but that's the case with all of these. The third is Unlock. I have a big box one here. You may recognize Unlock from the small ones as well. This is from Space Cowboy, and Unlock is not new to us. The other 2 were new. It was my first time playing an Exit and a Sherlock Files game. However, Unlock, we have played many of them. So that may factor into my ranking here, but let's go ahead. Forgive the lack of additional shots or beauty shots or anything like that. A lot of these components cannot be shown because it would be spoilers and it would render the game unplayable to you. So while I won't be showing you much of what's on the interior, I will try and give you a good idea of how the games are played. Let's start with the Sherlock Files. Now, the Sherlock Files is probably your easiest, not easiest as far as skill required to play, but your easiest as far as you can pick it up, you can teach it, and you can play pretty quickly. It doesn't rely on much knowledge of how the system works. So what happens is each player, I think, has 5 cards. That, I think, changes with the number of players you're playing with. But what you do is all you're trying to do is sort pieces of evidence into relevant or not relevant piles. So on your turn, you'll play a card either to relevant information or irrelevant information. So it starts with pretty much nothing. It gives you a little bit of setup of like the crime that's been committed or something like that. And then based on what you know, you're starting to reveal information. You can't reveal much to the other players. On each card, there's either underlined text or there's a tile on the card. And you can talk to the group about that information. It led to some of the most engagement in an escape room that we've ever played, as far as each player had to be pretty focused, otherwise they were going to make a bad decision. Amazingly designed. They're puzzles. I mean, in essence, they are complicated series of puzzles and clues and ciphers, and 3 out of 5 on its difficulty, so just above half. We found it pretty difficult, which I know some of these things you start to understand what they're doing, and you can start to pick out common puzzle tropes and stuff that they've done. So maybe the more exit games that we were to do, that would be a bit different. But this was my first exit game. I found it doable, but actually a real brain burner. By the end, we were pretty fried on exit. Now let's talk about Unlock. Unlock, there are also tons of games. There's a Star Wars version that I hear is amazing, but it's one of the few I haven't played. In Unlock, there's a companion app that you're playing along with, and I have played some Unlock games that I thought were pretty poorly designed, and that I would not recommend to people. Most, however, have been really great experiences. So let's go ahead and dive into how I would rank them and why I place them where I do. For third place, I would actually rank the Sherlock Files. Now, it comes with a little bit of a caveat. I did enjoy Sherlock Files. It was very fun. These are relatively inexpensive. This is volume 5, so there are a lot of volumes. Each one comes with 3. What we found was that with the Sherlock Files, it gave us the best sense of like really trying to mentally dig into a mystery and build like a story around what had happened. So really, as far as executing the theme and what it's trying to do, it may be one of the best. However, as far as do I want to go buy all of them and play all of them, probably not. I'm anxious to pass this along to somebody. I do like the fact that it can be replayed with a different group. The majority of your time, like there weren't interesting decisions to be made. It was purely a matter of racking your brain to try and tie together this web of things. Felt very Sherlock Holmesy. So if that's the feel that you're going for in an escape room game, I think the Sherlock Files are great, and I think they would work really well for you. In second, I would place the Exit game. Now, I thought what they did in Exit was actually pretty brilliant. The puzzles were in depth, and they were really pretty impressive. There were a couple things that bugged me. Every once in a while, a clue would come along, and I believe this one's app supported as well, so you need an app for it. But man, there were a couple things that I was like, wow, that was a stretch. And like I said, I can't give you any spoilers because I care too much about your experience playing these. This one was cool. It had some really neat things about it. Every once in a while, there was one thing that we had to get a hint on, and it's just like, really? How was anybody supposed to get there? I don't know. Some of the things on here felt just a little far-fetched. Overall, really great. I'm anxious to try another Exit game, but I think I'll look for them when they're on sale. The one drawback to the Exit games is they're only playable once. You rip things up, you bend things, you cut things out of the rules, and what that means is that you can't pass it on to another player. Now, with other escape room games, what we'll do is me and my sister will each buy one, and then we'll swap after, thus minimizing the price. That can't be done with the Exit games. So just be aware of that. It is a one-time experience. As far as what you get out of it, it's $15. You can entertain like up to 4 people for 2 hours for $15. Great return on your money. However, there were a couple things, like I said, I'm anxious to play another one to see if I feel that way about all of them. This one felt like it had a couple long shots. I still rank Unlock at the top of my list. And like I said, this could be biased because I've played the most Unlock games. So the first Unlock game I played, I was like, really? And it had the same thing as the Exit game, which is why I'm hesitant to judge Exit so harshly. It had the same thing where I was like, how was anybody supposed to get to that? And so maybe it comes with the experience and the love of what Unlock is doing and having gone through so many that the bad ones kind of fade into the background. The good ones remain in my mind as an awesome memory. I actually do not recommend playing 3 escape room games in a row. It was so mentally draining, which I think we started in the right place. We started with Exit, then we went to Unlock, and we ended with Sherlock Files. Whether that has any kind of influence on how we were feeling by the end of the night and how well we liked the games, I don't know. I have since played more of the Sherlock Files, and they're so interesting. Like I said, I like all of these, but if you don't know anything about escape room games, you've never really tried one, I do think Unlock is the best place to start. That is our marathon of escape room games. We did 3 in one evening just to get a really good sense of which ones stood out above the others. And all 3 are great experiences. I just really think I'm sold on Unlock. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. It helps. It's a small thing for you, a big thing for us in our content creation. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.